Okay, maybe I should sit. I don't know. Hey, hopefully it works this time. Okay. Just waiting for them. Let's see. Tams has joined. Let's see. I hope it works, Tam. I hope it works.
Yay! You see, it's working. It's my phone. So for some reason. Oh, but it's so dark. Can you see us?
I can see you. I can see you. Can you see me?
Yeah, close the door. Close the door.
Yay!
The brightness. This is brightness. Yay! Finally! It's been waiting, finally! You look pretty!
Oh, thank you. And so do
Yay,
you.
I want this to work. Okay, wait, let me, so that we can all fit.
Can you open the secret door?
The whole family, yeah.
Yay! Come say hi.
Hi.
Oh, I love it. Hello, Harvey Bear.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Good and you?
Oh, man, they look so cute.
But now we put it on. Okay. We put it on like a stand, and then we put the light. You know those round lights. So we hope that. Yeah, we hope that Kaden doesn't push it over. Come, my angel.
Hopefully, you look chilled.
Yeah, my brothers will just hold the kids just now. Yeah, so
Okay, no problem. I'm also very excited, and you guys, thank you for agreeing to do this.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see if we're not too far.
Yeah.
Come hold here.
Let me also try and put my phone down because otherwise it's going to be a long.
Yeah.
It's today, yeah, ne?
It's been a struggle.
Lose.
Hey, we're gonna make you lose.
Yes,
Lose what?
Controller there. Get the controller. and go right.
Woody Crush.
Okay. Are you gonna just hold it, no? Then Kopano, you will hold the kids. If we have problems, you'll just one
There's
brother
a whole
hold
team in the castle. I see there's a team.
together.
You know, you just
Are we good?
We're good. We're good. We're good.
Okay. Happy.
Yeah.
Technology was technical team here. I have a team today. It's not just me. So he's assisting me with because I'm holding the phone up. Okay, there we go. I think perfect. Better.
Okay,
He went like
Okay. Ah,
you can sit.
good to go. Are you happy? Can we?
Sit. Sit, my angel.
Are we
Sit at the back. Yeah, we good. Just sit down, Holly.
I'm watching.
Guys, it's
Cool.
gonna be like a long one.
Look,
It's gonna be a long one.
you're a family. That will be a bit like.
I want to go bed.
So, let's kick off. Thank you guys for agreeing to do this. Thank you for allowing me to host you today. Very excited. I know you were saying to me, or yesterday you were saying that you're excited but a bit nervous. How are you feeling now?
I'm good now. I think the whole test run and stuff made us better. Because like we literally around for like 30 minutes before we can get it right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's the thing, like, and I suppose that's the thing with live things, live anything. I mean, anything can go wrong. So, I'm glad it all worked out. Curtis, how are you doing?
no good. Thanks, eh? Can't complain. I'm the man of the entire equation, so I'll balance everything out.
You're saying what about the equation?
I'll balance the equation out. I'm the mellow one. So you see, Tammy's all everything must be perfect. Everything must be perfect, and I just like.
He was
I'll
like,
rock up
why?
and it's
He's
fine.
like, why am I doing my makeup? I'm like, and then when you said you have to do your eyebrows, I'm like, exactly. You see?
So you just, and that's good. I actually like that because I think to me you have a lot of energy just naturally, and I love what Curtis is saying, that he brings the balance in the whole thing, and that's why I'm quite excited just to have you guys on board today, just to get a glimpse or get to hear how you guys run your castle, like I was saying. Now, as a start, I think let's start with Curtis because he was already talking. Curtis, how would you describe Thammy? How would you describe her?
I must watch what I say so I can at least sleep in the bed tonight. Thammy is a very loving person.
No.
Relax, please. She's very, very talkative. She pretends to be shy and all the rest of it, but she's very, very talkative.
I think I am shy though.
And she's very OCD as well. Like it's like everything must be perfect. But yeah, I think all of those things is the reasons why I love her. So.
Oh man. I can attest to the OCD thing because just before we tested this earlier, she was like saying, "I'm panicking," and I'm like, "Relax." So I can attest to it.
Exactly. And you were like, "No, it's fine. Even if you show and I don't or whatever, or if we show and you're not important," I'm like, "No ways. It has to be like it has to be perfect." I'm like that. Hi.
I'm glad you fought for that, Thammy, because I was ready to go, like, not looking, because I was even thinking, like, I don't have time to do my brows, so it's if I don't show, and I didn't actually do them, as you can see there. So, and how would you describe Curtis?
Listen, as I listen attentively now.
Okay, so basically Curtis is, I think you know Curtis as well, but Curtis is like a very strict, focused, very ethical person. If anybody knows him, he's, so I'm like the wishy-washy all over the place. He keeps me like properly grounded, Very strict husband, very strict father, but then also very loving. And as well, if he's got something to talk about or something that interests him or sparks an interest in him, he will talk for days. He's also very talkative because I see a lot of people when they meet us, they're like, "Oh, Curtis, how do you cope with Thammy? She's so talkative." I'm like, guys, Curtis is very talkative. You just obviously need to talk to him with whatever interests him, and he will not stop talking.
So not eyebrows.
Yeah.
So not eyebrows.
Not eyebrows.
Yeah.
Oh, is it maybe your speaker is yeah. Are you struggling to hear us, nah?
No, I can hear you. It's just that I couldn't, when Curtis spoke, I couldn't hear him, but I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But he's very a strict person, focused, wants, says things how it is, doesn't sugarcoat anything.
It gets me in trouble.
It gets him into a lot of trouble, so he just doesn't sugarcoat. He says what he thinks, and that's just who he is. Yeah.
Wow. And you guys...
Yeah, I was waiting.
What did you say?
I said that's why I love him.
Yeah, I was waiting for her to say it or not say it.
I think he's struggling to
So I think she redeemed herself there by saying that at the end. She said, "Listen, but that's exactly why I love him."
Yeah, as an afterthought, she was like, I remember.
No, but I do honestly, because I think our two personalities balance out. And he can be very, very mellow and chilled and stuff. And I don't know why he says I am shy. I am, like, honestly speaking, I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Nah, girl.
Instances, like, I am. I don't know how. So, like, for instance, there's instances where when we have to go out, I'm very like, should we go, should we not? When he says, okay, let's go somewhere or a party or whatever, And I'm very kind of, I don't want to, I'd rather sit at home and stuff like that. And then when we do go out, it just seems like I'm the one who suggested it. He becomes all, chilled, and I'm there, like, as soon as I think I get my energy from other people. I feed off other people's energies. Tilted Capricorn. No, you tilting it too much. These kids are not doing the thing. He wants to still look at his phone because I told him to bring it closer so that you can hear us properly, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, I feed
Actually,
off other people's, yeah, I think I feed off other people's energies, and then as soon as I get somewhere, I'm the life of the party and stuff. But like honestly speaking, I'm very I'd rather be at home, and then I'll be like, I think I talk a lot to kind of hide away the shyness or something. I don't know, but then I just feel very.
Being shy, though.
I don't know, what is it? I'm awkward. Okay, I'm awkward.
Yes, you're awkward.
I'm awkward. I'm very awkward.
Talking to hide your shyness is not being shy.
Okay, I'm awkward because in social spaces and
No, she's Tammy.
hello, hubby. Yeah.
Hello. Go get your brother. Don't just watch it, right? Okay, and then what you call, and then yeah, but otherwise I think we complement each other very well.
Let me tell you, shy is not how I would describe you. So I agree with Curtis. No, it is not being shy at all. Because I've seen
I'm a very awkward person.
your TikTok videos, your YouTube channel, all of those things. I'm like, nah, girl, shy. Shy is not it. Shy is not it.
It's not the word.
And I love it though.
Because it's finished.
Say excuse you.
Say excuse me. Look at Auntie, you're blocking. You're blocking us.
But now I can't
Wait a
find
minute.
the tiny bit.
Okay, cool. It's our time to.
So, I mean, you guys have been together for so long, 11 years, and now you've got these two beautiful bitches that are like both a ball of energy. Obviously, over time, you've kind of, as people, individuals, also grown. But how do you ensure you kept the fire burning? How have you kept each other? How do you make sure that you're still showing each other love and all of that, even with the boys, because they're very demanding. And I mean, I do see now they obviously have a lot of energy, they want to be around, but how do you keep the love going and growing?
Here you go.
Locking the kids on one side of the house and us on the other side.
Or sometimes just locking the room and like not opening.
Yeah. Look, I think for us it's just, I don't know, I don't think there's any special answer to that. I think it's just one of those things where you kind of end up just knowing that you need to make the time for each other. And I guess being okay to check in with each other and letting each other know when, I think it's that balance of knowing when to like let Tammy have her space, or Tammy knowing when I need to have my space, and then also like knowing when we must just go out and have a date night or spend time together or whatever. And I think even as well, I think another thing is just, even with all the craziness, is to not lose sight of the person who helped you make the craziness happen, right? So like these kids is like from both of us. So I think even when the kids are being demanding and stuff, I think it's just seeing the love in that. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's knowing when to be alone and spending time on your own. Knowing when to go and actually like check in with each other, have a date night, watch a movie together, binge watch a series or whatever. And then even with all the kids around, still being able to like at least, you know, I don't know, scar our kids by kissing each other in front of them and
Yeah.
and spanking a bumya every now and again.
And I think yeah. And I think with us as well, we've been together so long, like how you said, 11 years. And when I met Curtis, I was 19. So basically we can't really, yeah, when I met him, I was 19, he was 21, 22. Yeah. And I think with us, another thing is that we just really can't pretend with each other. Like, I mean, we met at such a young age. There's really no room to be someone else or to pretend to be in a certain way or all grown up. I think what also has, kept us going was us just being the same way, acting the same way as what we did like 12 years, 11 years ago. And I think that's what kept us going. And with the kids, they just kind of bring out the kids in us as well. And we try to make time, And with them, it's not, I don't see them as a separate entity from us. So basically we have the time, we kind of like make, you know how you keep the fire burning, like somebody said, spanking and kissing in front of them and dancing, and, all of that. We keep the fire burning with them involved in our relationship, you know what I mean? So
as long as they don't see anything that's not PG, it's fine.
yeah.
That is beautiful, guys. I mean, I see the photos you put up on social media with like the family life, and it's always so refreshing how authentic you are in doing it. I think in a world where we're always trying to some sort of, there's like saying because you're a wife, you must act a certain way, and because you're and I love just how you guys live in your truth and the playfulness, like it's refreshing. And I mean, you guys are working professionals and you've got your own aspirations. Now, you said something very important. Formula.
Yeah, he's coming. The thing is, the baby cut his hand a little earlier, so, and he sucks his thumb, so he cut where he sucks, so that's a problem. Yeah.
Ouch. Hey, man.
Yeah.
So you guys, Curtis highlighted the importance of space and how you guys give each other space. Now, a lot of sometimes people, it's difficult. Like sometimes people take it personally when you want space. What do you guys actually do? Like, does Curtis just know that, okay, Thammy now, she's maybe a bit grumpy, folks taking to need her space? Do you actually say, I need my space? What do you communicate that?
Yes, definitely. I think also, what do you need? Wait, what do you need?
I need my daddy. I want to
okay, wait.
So my daddy could try to throw me so I can dodge them.
Okay. I think now you guys must go play outside now. Okay, but now another thing about talking about space.
I don't envy you at all.
I don't madness. And to think that our families want another one as well, it's like so crazy. I also I want to go. This madness must stop.
Okay, I think go find out what the formula is for a girl.
Oh yes, don't even get us started on that. But anyway, with our space that we, especially with the kids and everything, with work, the kids with school, you tend to feel like sometimes you want your own space. With Honey as well, he knows when I sit and say, okay, now mommy needs some peace and quiet, and then he would go. So I started with meditating as well, just taking some time off to myself. Because I know, oh yes, and I sleep, and I would like time to sleep on my own, and then just, be left alone, and then he will like take care of the kids while I sleep a lot, and then vice versa. Sometimes I hold the kids, and then he plays his games, because that's how he relaxes, that's how he prefers his time, or watch series and stuff like that. So we kind of take turns. And then also in terms of, he works a lot. He's got 2 businesses plus, a job. So I'm mostly running after the kids and making sure they don't disturb him. We kind of, I think, like how he said, there's not really one formula, but we've seen during the years, like over the years, that the longer we've been together, the more, in sync. You do things without even thinking, or when we talk about it, as we talk now, we know, okay, we've got this actually set out, but it's not something that we've talked through, like, you will do that, you will do this. It's something that just is in sync. You kind of gel in with each other as time goes by. and just.
And I think as well, just to add on to what Tammy's saying, I think because we've been together so long, right? Like we started dating before any of the two of us had like much baggage, right? So like if we had to probably start dating now, it would be different because in essence you would have already have built 10 years of a life together alone. Like you would have built your own path separately. I think because we've been together so long, like we've in essence built a path together from day one, and I think that just makes it easier because like a lot of the stuff that you probably as a person would have overcome alone, we overcame together. So it kind of helped form like bonds and like ways of working and like ways of communicating that like we needed to deal it because that's the journey we were walking on at that point in time. I mean, when we started dating first year, Tammy's first year varsity, like it's none of this like now if you start dating you still go and take someone out to a fancy restaurant.
No, it was peanut butter. Peanut butter sandwiches every day at Rez. It was that kind of life. So for us, it's just like I was first year when we started dating, and he was in third year. Right? Yeah, in third year. So you see, like when I say it's in sync, we've learned throughout the years to kind of we gelled in our lives together, kind of thing, you know. So it's very busy now. He needs his time, or I can just already see when he's grumpy. I honestly can just see, and he also can. It's that thing where, okay, now we can't disturb him, or Lovey, what's wrong? Is there something wrong? You know, you see those kind of things, and sometimes he'll sit and say, I'm annoyed because of this and that, and I know to give him space. And yeah, it goes like that. Yeah.
Wow. That's so special. I mean, Menzies even saying that a peanut butter and jam sandwich, like that's so cute. I mean, the simple thing in life, right? Before you guys could even, you know, before you got anything, really.
Exactly. He used to get me a lollipop as a gift after school.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow.
It makes it easier, right? Because then it ends up being where instead of needing to pretend or like to build up an image of this is what I can provide for you, it's always just been something where we've like built something together. So like I don't know, it's made things a little bit easier because then I think even when there are problems, even when we do have to like, you know, stress over finances or stress over how the kids' schooling's going or whatever the case may be, it's a lot easier because it then just feels like it's our baggage together instead of, no, that's your thing or this is my thing. I don't know, it's just made it a little bit easier. And I think as well, just like, yeah, there's no antenuptials here or anything. So like knowing that everything's going to be splitting off, we're like, no, we shall not be splitting anything. Everything's staying 100%.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that. And I mean, to see, you guys are obviously a young couple. I mean, I don't mean young in terms of you've obviously been together for a long time and you've seen each other grow through the different phases. But I love how you're owning your story, your truth, the path that you're on, the boys, the fact that you're saying that, like you, Tammy, you said that they're not as separate. You don't view them as separate to you guys. You involve them in everything because they're part of the family unit. It's such a beautiful thing to see a young couple living like that. Like, it's really refreshing. And Curtis, I was wondering, like, you know, when I first approached Tammy and wanted to do this, I knew that she'd be keen. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know, because I used to work, for everybody who doesn't know, so I used to work with Curtis, and I know Curtis, and I know when Tammy says that he likes things like, you know, a certain way, that's exactly him. And I know you are a very hard worker. I'm glad that you agreed. And with those things, like Tammy mentioned that you've got 2 businesses that you have, and you're also holding down a job. And, you know, her as a wife also understanding that, I mean, she's a professional as well. And I see that she does a lot, also studying and doing this and this and that. Guys, the madness, like I'm looking at the boys and just the load that you're carrying, it's a beautiful load with everything that you speak about. And the support structure is in place. Everybody's making sure that everything, I know the 2 of you support one another. How do you keep everything sort of together? And I'm saying together in inverted commas because sometimes I know things will go a bit, you know, haywire. but what support structures do you have in place to ensure that you as individuals are also keep going?
Look, I think having mom-in-laws nearby helps. Because when we feel like we just need some us time as a couple, we just like the kids are going to the mom-in-laws for the weekend, and then we, or our mom-in-laws, their gogos and grannies. I think that really helps. And just I think having family nearby just helps.
And also a very reliable helper.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, I don't think we would really be able to do everything without her as well. She is, she's away now. But you would see if she was here as well, she would probably be coming in, holding them, and, she knows when I'm studying. She knows when she calls Curtis Papa, so she knows when Papa is working as well. So she would try and help me grab one child. I grab one child when he's in a virtual meetings and stuff like that. So it's really, and my mom is always so happy to, take over and take our kids for a weekend or for a week or whatever the case may be. And it does really get tough. It really does, because sometimes, you get fatigued. I've got school, I've got, I'm doing the whole acting, team presenting stuff. I've got my work as well. And so it can just get, juggling all those can get a little bit tricky with the kids and stuff like that, But it's also knowing now you've had enough, you really need to rest, and knowing when you need to ask for help. So those are the kind of support structures that we have. And our boys have a lot of energy, and also knowing that you need to burn out the energy. So other people, I don't know how they do it, but with us, we try to burn out the energy, like taking walks, literally running around with them to burn out the energy.
You say it like you do all the time.
I hold the camera, and I cheer in the background while we try to run around the energy.
It's the thing that gets me in trouble the most, because I'm the one making the house a mess with the boys, building tents and
So they build. So you need to kind of so that helps burning the energy.
You are yet to play hide and seek with us. You know that.
I do.
No,
I do
you've
play.
never played. Don't lie.
Don't like 1 round or so.
No, you've never played hide and seek.
But we're going off topic. We're going off topic.
Look, I think that because kids often act out like if they feel like you're not giving them attention, right? So I think even with us being busy, it's that thing of in between meetings, take 5 minutes and play one game of hide and seek, or just try and take even those 5-10 minutes and just spend it with the kids. Then at least when they're asleep, then at least it's our time, right? I think for us as well, at least for me anyways, it's that thing of also being comfortable with not sleeping so much, right? So having a good support structure is great, but not sleeping too much is also a bonus if you get used to that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Sure. I mean, I see the stuff that when you say that, Curtis, you create the mess. I've seen it. I've seen Thammy complain and be like when you built a tent, and I'm like, these are such cool things. As a kid, if I was one of the boys,
they love it. They love it, but I'm like, oh my gosh. And Curtis is like, do you know that messy play is the best play? I understand. But for me, how I grew up is messy play outside. This is the house now. No messy play. And Curtis loves baking, so he bakes a lot.
I don't like baking. I bake because I get forced to by the kids, right?
Okay, he bakes for her.
Nothing I can do.
Yeah, he loves, but he really, because it's just easy mix and stuff. So Harvey, literally, when coming to baking and stuff, he goes to Daddy. He loves baking with Harvey. They bake together. So that's a thing. And then just after the house is clean, now there's crumbs, there's muffin crumbs everywhere. And then there's sticky stuff. It's just, oh my gosh. And like how he said, it's like the OCD.
Remember, yes, I was about to say, remember I said OCD? Case in point.
And I love very light colors. I like white and stuff. So it gets me a little bit,
I'm sure there's a lot of Hey?
I say, like, for me, I can't, the reason why I don't mind making a mess and stuff is, like, also sometimes it's about, like, for me anyways, I stress about different things to what Tammy stresses about. So, like, I stress about, for things, like, for me, the things that matter is, like, paying the bond, making sure we've got food, electricity and all the rest of it. And then Tammy stresses about all the girly things, like, is the house tidy? Do we have hand sanitizer and
That's
I'm
not
like,
a girly thing. That's not, oh, wow.
Wow. Hey, look, a king, there's a different thing that a king brings to the table and a different thing that a queen brings to the table to make it work. So I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So, wow, you guys. Look, I always look at you and I'm like, oh man, I wonder if I'll ever, when I have my person, whenever that person is gonna come, I want, I receive, girl, I receive. I'm like, I love how the playfulness, the authenticity, how you mentioned that, it's so important. Curtis said earlier that you can't, with the peanut butter and jam sandwich, like you guys started from there, just being honest with one another and not trying to keep up pretenses. Or I think we live in a world that's very, I don't want to use the word messed up, but a world that's like sometimes becomes way too superficial. So I just want to say it's just a comment to say, keep doing what you're doing and keep sharing with us, because you're giving some of us hope and to say, here is a family that is doing well in that they're true to themselves, number one, and they're building this hustle their way, and there's no rules, you're doing things your own way. I mean, some people will look at you and say you come from different racial backgrounds, for example, but that's not even a thing. It's not even a thing for you guys. So.
Yeah, it's
I like some chocolates, so it's okay.
Chocolate.
Oh my God. He does love chocolate, not even some.
Ooh,
but anyway,
a lot of chocolate.
He does.
They say once you go black, you can go back.
Literal chocolate.
Like literal chocolate.
He loves chocolate more than I love chocolate. I like sweets. But anyway, that's just another.
So there's a question.
How do they deal with?
Yeah, actually. How do you deal with it? That's a very good question.
Yeah, you can ask. Curtis can see it from there.
Okay, so the question is, with recording your lives and being so public, because obviously you've got your YouTube channel as well and stuff that you post on Facebook. How do you deal with negative comments? Because there's always like negative comments, right? How do you guys deal with that?
And it's so frustrating, especially like you mentioned with us being, an interracial couple. We get, my brother is like looking at you, tilting the thing. You are tilting.
We still see you the same. There's nothing that's changed.
Okay, you're tilting the thing. But anyway, so with us being a interracial couple, obviously on YouTube and stuff like that, we do get, not even on YouTube, not even on just even on like real life, the awkward looks. Online we would get some comments, and I'm not talking about Facebook where people have kind of built a friendship with us on Facebook and stuff like that. I'm talking bigger platforms like YouTube where people don't really know us personally. They say these awful things, and it's so, I don't know, it's so disheartening to think that people still think like this. For instance, our kids, like we always tell people that our kids really, really don't see color. They see mommy and daddy. And I remember there was...
See color a little bit.
Yes, and also we also had to teach them because people...
They're sneaky. Like Harvey will end up coming and saying, I want the lightest person to go and make breakfast. And then it's like, yeah, just say daddy. Just say daddy.
I feel like I need this from a brown person, not a white. So now we need to, and how they knew that, okay, this is slightly off topic, but in terms of the whole color thing, I remember there was this one time I was standing in a queue with Harvey in Chikilikin, and a couple of guys behind us then asked him, that he was way younger at that time, they asked him, is your father white? And then he said, no, my father is Curtis. That's exactly, because he didn't, to him, white is not how Curtis looks. You know what I mean? And black is not how I look. And then as time went by, there was another time where we were eating chocolate together with Harvey. And I just want to, I'll look at the comments. And then we were eating chocolate with Harvey, so it was melted chocolate. And it was all over my fingers. And then that's when he's like, oh, Mommy, your hands are brown like the chocolate. And I'm like, yes, they are. And then he was eating chocolate and he said, what color am I, Mommy? Because he looked at his, he looked at his skin color and the chocolate, and they don't, you know, and he's definitely, he doesn't see himself as white, you know. And he said, what color am I? And I said, look closely, what do you think? Because I wanted to pick his mind. And he looked, he said, I don't know, please tell me. I said, no, just look carefully. And then he said he really didn't know. And I said to him, then choose a color, be whatever color you want. And then he chose blue. So for the longest time, he was a color blue to him, you know, he was a color blue till my mom, you know, kind of said, but now they're growing older, they need to know, because the society out there will classify them as whatever, you know. So then you need to tell them. And we told them that, okay, daddy is white, mommy is brown, and white and brown makes, you know, mixed gold. So even when you can ask him now, he will tell you that, I'm mixed gold. Yes, I'm mixed gold. He knows him and his brother are gold. So I remember who said he's white, and he said, no, I'm not white, I'm mixed gold. You know, so because to him he's gold, he's, you know, that's how he recognizes himself. And so I really hope all these, we've had many years to deal with and accept that people will always put a label to us. People always kind of say nasty things behind our backs. And, you know, unfortunately, we can't protect our kids from all of that. And it's just something where they need to know that this is how our parents are, and they know, and they're so proud to, you know.
I think as well, right? So for us as parents, I think it's important to let our kids almost shape and choose their own identity, right? So like the same way we like needed to learn how to like not be hurt by being labeled, we also want to in essence give our kids a space to in essence create their own label, so it's easier for them to deal with when someone tells you a different label to what you know you are, you can deal with it and stand firm. And I think as well, like, we've had negative comments from white people and black people alike, right? So it's not like it's any one thing that like one race group or one person or one type of mentality that ends up like maybe seeing our relationship as something that shouldn't have happened. I think it's just one of those things where each person has their own history, each person has their own journey that they've walked, and that shaped them. And sometimes those journeys end up clashing. Like their mentality of what a perfect relationship should be, our relationship is in direct contradiction of that identity that they've created for themselves. And I think, at least for me personally, and I think by extension Thammy as well, when we get those negative comments, like it is what it is, right? You can't change someone else's identity or someone else's thinking. So we don't even try, right? Like, let people live their lives, let them make their assumptions. At the end of the day, the stuff that's important to me is, the stuff that's important is like my relationship with my wife, my relationship with my kids and the like. And sometimes you just need to let people do what they need to do and live their life. It really doesn't help, like trying to entertain that stuff, to be honest. Sometimes you have to, if you like are putting yourself out there on a public platform, and you need to kind of know that that stuff's going to come. I think you just need to know that it's going to come and be like okay with it, and say, and almost have that mental wall to say, this is my space, that's your space. If those two things don't meet, it's okay, shove, we'll move on.
Sure. I love that. And I guess you've had, like, I mean, being together for so long, it's obviously something you've had to deal with.
7 years, yeah. Oh, in the beginning, and that's the thing. When we started dating, you see everybody, you see the states, you notice everything. Like, you know, when we're holding hands, you notice other people are extremely happy for us. Like, it's so crazy. It's like, others are just like, you know, they just put us on this pedestal, like, okay, aren't we just, you know, it's all it's a different, the first time I took him to Mafikeng, my hometown, yeah, you know, Mafta, and we walked into a KFC together. Yes. And we walked into a KFC together. Then these ladies started, but it was just like, and we were like, at some point we looked back to see what's going on, like, oh, are they doing it to us? Oh my gosh. And these are the, you know, the KFC women, the ladies who are working at the KFC. And we were so shocked, like, oh my goodness, you know, things like that. It just sometimes just shocks you, but then sometimes we just appreciate the history that we have as a country, that other people are really so happy to see a relationship like ours, and others are just not happy at all. Others, it's you know, very dirty looks. But I think where it really got better is when we start focusing inward and not like look at what other people are doing. You start really not noticing. And I think for us it changed a lot when we had Harvey. For me, it changed when we had Harvey, because we were so focused, and you know, we were just, you know, in love with him, and you know, just so focused with him. When we're going out somewhere, just focusing on our family and stuff, I think everything else just kind of fell away. We didn't kind of see everybody looking and staring, and we just kind of focused on that. Although the social media stuff, the comments kind of get to me sometimes. I don't know, I'm sensitive, so sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, and Curtis will be the one to sit and say, just let people be, and all that. So it is tough, but you kind of take it with a pinch of salt.
Wow.
So,
and
yeah.
He did say earlier, he brings balance. So when you speak about the sensitivity and how when you go to him and then he's like, listen, just let them be. I think that's like a great thing between the two of you. But when you encounter it in person, like, if someone is being nasty to you because looking you, I mean, I know there's the looks that they would give you and all of that, but where someone is like directly, whether it's making a comment in person, that is, and not like on social media, or treating you different because you're obviously an interracial couple, how do you, because I don't think those are necessarily things that are easy to ignore. Like, if someone is not gonna maybe give you something, you know, I was reading this week with the what's this, Black Lives Matter thing. So I was reading, somebody had posted where they encountered, the first time they encountered racism, where I think they went to a party, and then because she's black and there were a lot of white people, I think the bouncer or whoever is at the entrance was only letting, like, skip them and put them to the side, and was only letting the white people go. So something like that is like a very direct thing. Then how do you deal with something that's direct like that? You can't necessarily ignore it.
Look, so I think for me it's two things, right? So, like, I think there's the bad stuff that happens, like the story you just mentioned, right? And then there's also the story Thammy mentioned, like in the KFC, right? For me, both of those things are a problem, because it speaks to the fact that our relationship is somehow more special than anyone else's, right? And I think at the end of the day, it's just a relationship, right? So when those things happen in person, whether it's the undue adoration for something that should actually just be normal, or the whole, like, you know, I guess hatred or like anger towards something that should be normal, I think in both those instances the reaction for us anyways is the same, right? Like, I think one, it's, for me anyways personally, it's first defending the person that I care about. So, like, if someone into my face tries to like say anything bad about Thammy or anything like that, then they're gonna have a problem with me. And I think defending your space is important and standing your ground is important. But I think at the end of the day as well, it just goes back to the point I was making around, you just sometimes also just need to let people carry on with their lives. Like, if they're gonna make the comment, sometimes it's just that thing of like, should you even like warrant their comment with the dignity of a response? And there's lines to that. Like, I'm not saying in all instances you should just ignore it, but I do think at times there's things that you should just be like, it's fine. Like, it's not a thing, whether it's good comments or bad comments. But there's certain lines, and for me, the line ends up being where, like, I remember when we first moved up to Joburg, and Tammy was still studying in PE. I used to walk Tammy from because I was renting in Marshalltown, renting a place in Marshalltown, and then I'd walk Tammy when she'd visit on weekends down to Park Station to catch the bus back to the Eastern Cape. And I remember quite vividly, these guys who like beg for money around like Park Station, and they always have the same story, and they pretend like it's the first time you've seen them.
Yeah.
And myself and Tammy were walking there, and the guy was asking for money, and I just like politely said, "Look, don't have money, can't help you out." In actual fact, 2 weeks prior, we gave this guy money, and he came with the same story about needing to travel somewhere and all the rest of it. So like, we already knew he was just trying to scam us. And when I said no, then he started just going in on Tammy, and I like
almost like I'm the one who.
Yeah, like, yeah, you with your gold digger.
Yeah.
You don't have money for me, meanwhile. So like, for me, that's the type of thing where if that happens, that's a line where we're gonna have a problem. But like most things, if someone just I'm not that aggressive, right? But I will stand my ground, right? I also remember when we went up to visit Tammy's gran in De La Reyville, myself and Harvey were walking to, and again, for Harvey, he doesn't see this stuff. He was 2 at the time. And we were walking to go and get a lollipop from the spaza shop just around the corner. And as we were walking then, like, some guys on the back of a bakkie driving past just start swearing at myself and Harvey, because Harvey looks white, right? So they're like, "Why are you here? Go back to," and they were using like very vulgar language, like, "Go back to where you effing came from. You don't belong here." Like, those type of things.
Because it's a very black
those type of things happen, and I think it ends up being that thing where you must stand your ground, but not try and go and like respond in anger back. Like, and I think that's how I deal with it personally. I'll stand my ground. No one's gonna like make me try and not be proud of the relationship I have, not be proud of the family I have. But I'm also not gonna go and be like, because sometimes people want those reactions. I'm not gonna give people the reaction they want. That's at least from like my 2 cents. I think Tammy will just cry. Tammy will get upset and cry.
Yeah, for me, I just kind of get in shock, and I think there's not much to do, you know? There's really not much to do with somebody who's ignorant or who doesn't know much. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, sure. Now, Curtis, with that, you've been with Tammy for so long. Can you speak Setswana, understand Setswana?
I can understand Setswana, yeah.
Hi! Oh, where's Harvey? They're outside. They're playing now.
I'll show you pictures. We've been to a party at their house for Harvey, a birthday party. He's asking me who you guys are, so I'm going to show him pictures because we went for one.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were saying you understand, Curtis?
He does. My mom is always like, "Oh, you haven't kept so long."
See how sometimes, Tammy, you on Facebook you're writing in Setswana. I'm just like, Curtis, I wonder if you can read the stuff in Setswana.
No, that's the thing. The
reading is no, I can't. But like the hearing is okay. I can at least hear when I'm being spoken about, or I know when the food's coming.
I'll be like, you know, simple stuff like, "Oh, can you like give me job, things like that," and he will reply like, "No, I'll sit in the dining room." My mom will be like, "Oh, yeah, you see," you know, things like that. But he can't read in Setswana, so when I want to gossip.
But I'm sure
when I want to gossip about him on
Google Translate.
When I want to gossip about him on
I'm saying, I'm sure even his friends, he's made sure that he's, you know, got people that he can be like, "Listen, what does this mean?"
And that's the thing. He's very close with my brother and my mom as well. So sometimes when he replies, because sometimes he can figure out some words and then he replies, I'll be like, oh my gosh. And then sometimes I'll be like, who told you this? Is it my mom? Is it my brother?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Productive mindset.
Yeah.
So there's no hiding, girl. There's no gossiping. There's none of that. None of that.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Oh, Mika, just want to say hi to Harvey and Kaden.
Do you want to see them, Kaden and Harvey? They're
Do you
kids.
see them?
They're very,
I'm coming just now.
two very cute boys.
How old
Ask Uncle Curtis. Ask him. Older boys. Ask him.
how old are
He can't hear you.
Harvey's 5 and Kaden is 18 months, a year and a half.
They're small.
they?
Ask him, not me.
I mean, how do
Yeah, Harvey's 5.
Harvey's 5 years.
Wow. Okay, we've got a question. What are aspirations for the young empire? I'm not sure what the question exactly means, but hello, Kaden. I mean, Harvey. Where's Kaden? Hello, Harvey.
Come say hi.
They are so
Say
cute.
hello. Say
They're so
hello.
adorable.
Say hi, friend.
Hi, friends.
How are you?
How are you? I want to show what I'm doing. I want to show him outside.
You can't see outside. You can't take it out. Show him what. Tell him what you're doing. Tell him what you're doing.
Harvey?
I'm cleaning. I'm cleaning the sitting bricks. I'm cleaning them like.
He's cleaning the
Oh.
Roma. He's cleaning the Roma
Okay.
with all the leaves.
Yeah.
You're cleaning out all the leaves. It's what is
You're-
it?
Winter.
You're a
Because it's
responsible little man. Hey, Harvey, I think you need to come to eat as well. Hey, will you come?
Oh yes, wait, tell everybody, what color are you, Harvey?
Mixed gold.
Oh, you're mixed gold. You are glowing. That's a very beautiful color. Oh, wow.
Okay, wait, tell them. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's a
Wow.
good thing he wants to outside now.
Yeah.
What are
Coming to the question.
aspirations for the young family empire?
So,
Love
you're
you.
what are the
Yes.
aspirations?
Harvey's 5.
Him and he's building an empire. Wait, what? What are you doing? Okay, come
Together,
here.
you're building
Yes,
an empire.
Harvey, calm down. Oh no, the dog is here now. Guys, we've got a whole family of these.
Of a dog.
We've got four of them. We had 5 and one. Yeah, and the mother passed away.
Sure,
The mother of
man.
the puppies passed away. These are the puppies. Remember how small they used to be? How big
Yeah, I
he is
remember.
now. Yeah,
Jeez, man. You guys are a massive family. You are a massive family.
we are a massive family. Four dogs, 2 kids.
And daddy.
Question. Hey,
I'm
I was
saying
going to
and
tell
as
you
well.
about that question.
What's the question?
The question
So,
was,
Kurt.
what are the aspirations to build the young empire? You and you. Maybe you can talk about that.
So what are the aspirations, Curtis, for the young empire, the family that you are, because I'm saying you guys are running a castle, so what are the aspirations for you guys? Or
Look,
dreams?
so I think, like, both Tammy and myself, like, so, like, my parents didn't have, like, a lot of money growing up and the like. They, like, really made a lot of sacrifices to, like, put me and my brothers through school. And same with Tammy and her mom as well. I think for me, the aspirations aren't anything fancy, but just like Harvey and Kaden, opportunity in life, like opportunity to choose where they want to end up and what they want to do and what they want to be in the life. I think for me, how that happens, God will like plot that path, and opportunity will come where it needs to come. But I think for me, that's the aspiration, is to give my kids the opportunity of choice.
Ooh, Oh, wow. That is powerful, the opportunity of choice. That is so powerful.
As long as they commit to whatever they choose. So if they choose to be a DJ, they mustn't come here and be like that weekend DJ. They must commit. Like
food.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he said as well, you know, because the thing is, Curtis, with us, okay? Curtis grew up with a, okay? Okay, go to him, he's in the bedroom.
Take a breath.
I'm sure by the time you go to bed, you're just like, when they go to bed, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And it's like, you get used to it with the drama. But like how Curtis said as well, we didn't come from much. And I think with him, his mother was a stay-at-home wife. And for him, you know, having a stay-at-home wife is not a bad idea per se. And for me as well, I would like one day want to stay at home and say,
like today.
But now, the thing is, you can imagine for my mom, you know, who really doesn't believe in that kind of thing. And sometimes you when you build the empire that you envision, it's not just for us as a family, but also your extended family, what they would love to see you becoming in life. And you know, so you work hard for them, for the sacrifices that they've made for you guys. So it's just that kind of thing. That's what keeps us going. I think for me as well, just not to disappoint, just to keep making them proud, and you know, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh man, you guys. Thank you. I think there's a lot that we've gotten out of the conversation itself. Thank you for
with the madness included, with the craziness in the mix.
We love it. We love it. It's part of your lives, and you can't be saying that they're not like. Where did you use the word? I forgot what it was, but they're not like a separate entity. That's what you said. They're not a separate entity. So they're spending time in this conversation.
He wants him to go to Lovey. Yeah. He wants him to go clean the thingy with him. Come sit with mommy. I'm gonna give you Smarties. Come, let's say bye to everybody.
You want their time.
You want somebody to play.
Come sit here. Say goodbye to everybody, and then
we're gonna go play with you and clean out all the mess. Okay? Let's come sit and then finish up, and then we're gonna clean up all the leaves, man.
Hey?
He's saying, "Hello, boy." You say hello.
You're beautiful. Beautiful, Miss Gold Boy. Very beautiful.
Bye bye.
No.
Oh,
no. Say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
but say what? Are you beautiful?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you not handsome?
He
usually.
I'm beautiful and handsome.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
You're beautiful and handsome. I love it. But yeah, as I was saying, thank you.
A true reflection of love. Oh, thank you so much.
Bye bye. Bye
the reflection of true love.
Love
okay, Javi.
Wait, Javi. Wait. Somebody says, I love the madness because it's real and it's a true reflection of love.
And it is. It is.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing yourself, and I think I'll share details about your page also on my stories so that people can also go follow you on YouTube, because I like the stuff that you put out there. It's really real. I think what we've gotten from you here is so authentic, and that's like so important. I think it's so important that people always live in their truth, and we've seen it in this conversation with the madness and everything. And I thank you both for showing up. I don't want to have just like one of them happy.
Thank you for having us, guys.
Yeah, bye bye.
Wait,
bye bye.
Wait.
Like this. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye,
Bye, bye,
bye.
bye.
I'm gonna save this to my IGTV as well. So yeah.
Yes, yes, please do. I don't know if there's a way I can